Bryce Dallas Howard just directed the movie we all needed right now. It's a documentary that proves that when times are tough, there's no one else to turn to. We can always count on the unwavering love and support of pets. And it's very fitting since today is National Pet Day. Take a look.
I rescue cats for a living. It's okay, Mama. I would love for all the cats to have a forever home. That's forever.
A lot of times when these animals come to us, they're broken in every way. You were so fast.
It's a lot of heartbreak, but it's a lot of special moments, too. It's a good boy.
An animal just loving you unconditionally makes a connection with you just can't break. We both have cleft palates, so he just understands me a lot. Feels really nice. Having a pet is hard.
Oh my God.
But it's a great journey.
Please welcome Bryce Dallas Howard.
Do you want to sit? Oh, I don't want him to come in if he's scared. 1 second. Pretend I'm holding the dog. Oh my gosh, so good to see you.
I'm not holding a cat because I'm dressed like a cat.
Yeah, you're representing cats.
And I've got my puppy upstairs, and if I go back smelling like a cat,
You're in
she will
trouble.
kill me in my sleep.
Yeah. But looking like a cat, you'll be fine.
That's right.
Yes.
So, Bryce, we're joined by some animals from Best Friends Animal Society who are all up for adoption. And you directed your new documentary called Pets, and it explores the amazing relationships we can have with our animals. You follow some really great stories here, and you got to interview a bunch of kids. What did you get from this that you hadn't had going in?
That's a good question, because I grew up with pets. I have pets. I love pets. You know, all of that, and in the documentary, like what Whoopi said, you know, we feature stories around the world, but I interviewed kids, and getting to interview kids about their pets is a very special experience, because something that didn't really occur to me is it's their first chance to kind of be a little grown-up.
Yes. Yeah.
There's someone else who's more vulnerable than them.
Yeah.
There's someone who's counting on them, relying upon them. And then in addition to that, the impact that these animals have because they listen, because they're present, they create stability for these kids. And so yeah, it was really powerful to get to talk with them. We're talking and listening right now. But you don't just talk about cats and dogs, actually. You have pigs, birds, goats, and more. Now, we're all huge animal lovers. Yeah. And so it's, here, I can take the baby. Oh, I can take the baby.
Kitty wants to climb.
So, but it's impossible not to watch pets and not be crying, especially at like the first scene. So have you heard that before? Yeah, so this movie is meant to be a celebration of that relationship. I don't want anyone to go in there thinking, like, folks are like, oh, I'm so nervous, like, it's, you know, pet loss, and how do you deal with that and all of that? Oh, yeah. We were very careful in making it so that we don't sort of sucker punch anyone. And, you know, if an animal has passed, we'll start with using the past tense so that you're aware of that. Yeah. So it's really, you know, it's a comedy, and it's meant to be really fun. That said, while I was editing this, I was actually directing Skeleton Crew, which is like a Star Wars show. Yeah. And
it's so good.
And thank you. And the gentleman who would sit next to me every day is a total legend named John Knoll. And John Knoll invented Adobe Photoshop.
Wow.
And he's a VFX supervisor at ILM, worked on, you know, all the original stuff that everybody loves. And he would sit next to me every day. And I didn't know this, but he has a cat at home who he loves very much. And he would sort of lean over, and I would open my laptop, and I would start editing between shots on Skeleton Crew. And he would lean over and watch, and I just looked at him one day, and he was crying, and it was that clip that I start the movie with, and I was like, okay, yes, this is how I need to start the movie. If I've got John Knoll crying next to me on a Star Wars set.
And Bryce, you come from a family of actors and directors. Your dad, of course, is the iconic director, Ron Howard. And you were raised in a household with a bunch of animals. What was that experience like growing up in the Howard household?
I mean, it was really, really wonderful. Both my parents grew up with pets, my mom especially, and her perspective was that if we were really, really willing to put in the work and take responsibility and to understand what that meant, then, then if we were like, can we have a pet? The answer would be yes. And so she's like, if you're cool with mucking out the goat barns on the weekends as opposed to like going to the bowling alley, then yeah, we'll have goats and sheep and, all of that. And so, so kind of quickly our house became the place where people would sort of drop off their animals if they were like, oh, we didn't, this isn't quite the right thing for me, rehoming an animal. They would kind of, we would inherit those animals. So we had quite a few characters over the years.
You're so sweet.
This cat is purring.
Am I losing? Well, Bryce, I love this whole concept, and I believe so strongly that animals are so good for our mental health too.
Yeah.
The hardest days you have, just going home and having them unconditionally love you is like the best centering thing. But we recently had your friend Josh Gad here for his memoir, In Gad We Trust. And you guys go way back, and he has a story in the book about a night out that the two of you have. What do you remember from that night?
So Josh Gad is my husband's best friend since kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
And,
That's old.
Wow.
Yeah. And so in dating my husband, I was also effectively dating Josh Gad.
That happens.
And he was, before I started dating my husband when I was 19, and Josh had heard about me and felt immediately threatened.
Yes.
And made it very clear that he was not going to approve of this relationship. So the first time I met him, it was in New York City, it was the winter, and he had forgotten his coat, and so he asked if he could borrow a coat. So I brought him down my like pink fuzzy my robe, and I let him wear the robe for the night, and that won him over, I guess. I'm not the type to do that, though. I'm really not the type, but no, they have a great relationship.
And he's the
That's
type that
adorable.
would wear it and embrace it.
Yeah, he did. He really was.
He's the type that might not give that coat back.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's very nice to be surrounded by all of this love.
Yes.
Puppy and kitty love.
Yes.
What, do you all have pets? Like, what's your situation?
Mine have passed, but I wear them on my wrist. We'll get the sad story out of the way, but they're also my screensaver. And my kids think I carried them in my womb, so we're fine.
Yeah. Good.
Well, I have 2 cats, and I have 2 dogs, and I have 12 chickens, and I have beehives, and soon to have Nigerian dwarf goats that my husband doesn't know about.
You heard it here first.
I have a 5.5-pound poodle. Her pronouns are bitch and princess. And she's like the emotional support puppy of this entire building.
And you have
I have 2 dogs, a little Havanese and a little Maltese, and they're just the absolute loves of my life.
But she wants a cat, too.
I do. I have to get the sign off from my husband, but Frito's looking pretty tempting.
Frito's cute.
I have a cat.
You have a cat.
But you've
Her
had dogs
cat.
before.
I've had dogs. I had a
Oh my gosh,
blind
she
and deaf
co-owns, she's
dog.
a co-owner of Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha.
Yeah, her dog. Her dog likes me. It's all good. This is such a lovely way to end a day for us, and a lovely way to honor all of these animals. So our thanks to Bryce Dallas Howard. Her documentary Pets begins streaming on Disney Plus today. And thanks to Best Friends Animal Society for bringing these wonderful, adorable, adoptable animals. To find out more about these pets and how you can adopt your next pet, scan the QR code on your screen or go to our website and see what you can do. Anytime you can give a home to a pet, it's a blessing.